Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I have an unboxing of the Crafter's Companion box number 38. This one I picked up, actually this was part of a mystery bag, I think during the last US warehouse clearance sale. And it's interesting because it's an older box and it's the way that they sort of described the contents of the mystery bag was not that you were getting the box kit, but that you were getting all of the individual elements that come in the box kit. So they basically kind of listed these things. And it was funny because I immediately recognized it as being a box kit. So I was actually curious whether I would actually get the full box itself, because in the past when they've included box kit as part of like a bundle that's super discounted, which is often the case with warehouse sales, usually they take everything out, like they take all the contents out of the box and you don't actually get the pretty box. But this time we actually still got the pretty box, so I thought that was kind of cool. So I have already taken most everything out of their individual envelopes to make it a little bit easier to show. In this kit, it's called Pop Out Scene, and so the color palette is one that is kind of a little bit more muted, a little bit darker, which I like. I feel like in years past, a lot of the boxes were more bright, and it would be the very kind of rare case that you would get a more muted, subtle palette. And I feel like they're doing a really good job of mixing it up with the past year or two of box kits where I think we're getting a wider range of kind of aesthetic. And so love these papers. They are a more monochromatic, which I have to admit is easier for me to use. I find sometimes with papers that are very graphical with a lot of color, a lot of print, I sometimes struggle to effectively use them. The papers are single-sided. They are a good layering weight. I would say maybe 60 pounds. And this one I think is super darling. So this has just fun little sort of, I think, are they all bunnies? No, I don't think they're all bunnies. Yeah, there's a hedgehog. There's maybe that's a squirrel or a fox. So it's really cute. And I like the selective coloring. I actually just stamped out my own sort of pattern paper and did this effect where I did some selective coloring as well, and it turned out I liked it anyways. I won't say it turned out really well, but to my eyes it turned out well. And then of course you do get the solid color cardstock. These are thicker than the pattern papers. I would say they are around maybe an 80-pound weight, and they are white core. So that works for a lot of your different techniques, like if you want to tear it, if you want to emboss and maybe distress it a little bit, you could do that. And of course they go pretty well with the pattern papers. They coordinate beautifully. I think this one's the only one, this sort of taupey color is the only one that's a little bit of an oddball, but more or less I think all of the papers are pretty well coordinated. These boxes are always very well curated, so I feel like everything generally goes well together, like you can mix and match. Then we get some coordinating ribbon, which it's gorgeous satin ribbon, and it's 3 different sizes, 3 different colors. I love these colors. This is almost like a very rich kind of deep gold, And these are really nice. I mean, the yellow is a little bit bright, but I think I don't know that you can do much with yellow to make it like a little bit more toned down, but I love these two a lot. So there's those. And then so the I'll also just get into some of the basics. And also I should note, I'm only showing one of each of the unique pattern papers and one of each unique solid color cardstock, but you do get 2 sheets of each, and they are 8x8. Then we get some card bases that are in 3 different sizes, it seems, which I think is really, I think that's really nice, because in the I thought that they might be kind of reducing the variability of what we were getting, because I noticed a lot of boxes we started to only get 6x6 and 4x6, and we weren't getting 5x7s anymore. But oh, you know what? This is an older box, so maybe that's why there's still the 5x7. So yeah, we get 6x6, 5x7, and 4x6 card bases, and there will be coordinating envelopes to go with all of them. In total, there's going to be 24 card bases and their matching envelopes, so get quite a few. And then the main event here, the pop-out scene, is referring to these dies. And it helps you to create, well, you can use them in a lot of different ways. The pop-out scene, as it's designed to be used, is going to create this sort of kind of border effect that has an aperture cut out of the center. And the idea is that you would cut this out of a panel that you would put on the inside of your card, so that when you open your card, you sort of see this scene pop out from the center. And you could put in the back some really great pattern papers or make your own background. But the idea is that it's a way to kind of have a fun little element, but on the inside of the scene or inside of your card. But of course, you know, there's nothing to say that you can't use it on the front of your card as well. And so there's, I think, a lot of fun ways to play with this. The unique property about it is that the outside does not have a cutting edge. So that's how this sort of scene, a silhouette of a scene, remains in your card, because it's just the inside cutting edge that's fully cut out. So you have that inner aperture that's cut out, but on the outside there are points in this die where it's still going to stay connected to your card. And so I think that's pretty fun, really unique. You can do they have a full range or a full collection of similar sort of concept dies that let you create these pop-out scenes. But I'd be curious. I think I have that because there was like a bundle that went on super clearance. So I'm going to check to see if they're all the same size, because these are the same size. And these two in particular probably don't make too much sense to like overlap with one another, but you could imagine, I'll have to look at the complete collection, but you could imagine maybe kind of snipping into some of these and creating like a tunnel style of card where each scene is like a different sort of depth or a different layer in your shadow box or your tunnel card. So that could be another way of using these. The thing that the reason why I didn't sort of immediately grab this box when it went on sale, and the price on this box and many of the other ones, they have dropped individually as well. So every once in a while there'll be a pretty deep discount on them, like even up to like 50% off. And this really I didn't get this until it was part of a mystery bundle, which had a bunch of other stuff that I wanted. um, Mostly though, because you sort of have to bring a little bit to the table, so to speak, with these scenes, because each of these does have it does have a coordinating stamp set to go along with it. So let me sort of bring these two side by side. So this is a little birthday scene. It's got a girl here with a birthday hat. There's a cake with some candles. I think that's maybe a present, and then some maybe some balloon strings here. And you get a separate die to cut out this balloon stamp. And the idea is that you could create this as a spinner and sort of suspend the balloon in the center and have a pop out spinner card on the inside. So it's nice that this die has a stamp to go along with it, but the scene elements that are part of the pop out scene, they don't have a coordinating stamp to go with them. So if you were treating it as a silhouette, I think that's awesome. You don't have to do any coloring, and you can just, maybe die cut this into some black card. And I think that would look awesome. A lot of the inspiration that they show on the box, there's been some coloring done, but you kind of have to add all of that detail yourself. Like for the girl, you kind of have to make up her hairline and what her hair looks like, and where does her face begin and where does the hair begin. And same with the hat and the on the head. Does the hat have a little string that you then have to kind of take into account when you're coloring it in? For somebody like me, I'm not an artist, and so left to my own devices, that feels like a challenge. So I feel like that's one thing that I knew just personally about myself, that I think I would have it would be a little bit of a challenge for me to work with this outside of it being treated as a silhouette. And it's kind of similar with this one, but this scene, I feel like it's more it lends itself more to being used as a silhouette, because often that's how I see fairies. Fairies are often kind of that striking kind of silhouette with a really gorgeous background against a really gorgeous background. And so I think that this one almost lends itself to being used as a silhouette. And it does come with 2 additional butterflies, which coordinate with the stamps. So I think it's definitely an interesting box. And maybe when I craft with it, I'll find that it's actually not as intimidating or hard to color up as I kind of assume it to be. And so who knows, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. But being that usually these kits sell for, I think, like $25, and the mystery bundle might have been like less than that. So, and it came with extra stuff as well. Because the mystery bundle, I think, was over $100, maybe over $120 in product for something like $20 with my platinum discount. And so I thought, well, this is a good opportunity to kind of get all of the other things I wanted that were included in that bundle, but also really just try this out and see how I like it. If nothing else, I loved the color palette and the pattern papers, and so at that price, even the card bases and envelopes are sort of worth it at that price. So yeah, that's this is gonna be a fun one to play with. I'm just really curious to see how easy or hard it is to work with those. But I think there's a lot of different ways that they can be used, and so it'll be fun to explore that as well. So that is this box. In that order, I also picked up another box, so I'll have another unboxing of another craft kit too. So I actually have quite a few of the craft boxes that I have not crafted with yet, but I do have a playlist where anytime I have an unboxing or I craft with these kits, you can check out my Crafter's Companion playlist if you're most interested in these box kits and anything else Crafter's Companion that I work with. So thanks again for joining me, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye.